Hi, very warm welcome to Dusty Shelf. Hope I find you well. Here today just outside Maldon at the Museum of Power. Well, a very warm welcome to Langford, just outside Maldon in Essex. This is the Museum of Power. So I did do a video here last year. It's kind of like an annual tradition to come here on their Christmas craft fair day. And yeah, as I say, last year came and had a look around the museum. I'm going to do that again today because it is an absolutely fascinating place. Inside an old pumping station. So this pumping station used to serve the South End area and would pump high pressure water over to South End. As I say, it's just outside Maldon. Now from last year, this whole section that you see here has been built. So we've got this new wing on the museum, complete with a shop, extension to the cafeteria, and yeah, it's certainly changed the profile of this old building. But I think it's quite in keeping. It does look very nice. Included a bit of footage there of the train going past, so they do have a miniature railway running around the building, 7 1/4 inch gauge, and dotted round the site are all kinds of fascinating engines and bits of machinery. So take a little walk round and let's have a look at those. Now, I'm not sure if the microphone's picking it up, but there's an exhaust note coming from the top of the building, and that's from the Linshaw triple expansion engine that they have here. We'll go and have a look at that in a little bit. You hear the train going past again. Let's see if we can catch that. There it goes, just over there. Let me zoom in. Nice little Garrett they've got running around on the track today, doing their Santa special. So a couple of circuits around the track and then dropping the kids off to see Santa. An inverted twin cylinder steam engine. Ashworth and Parker. It is an absolutely fascinating place. If you can get here, it's well worth a visit. As I say, we come over on the craft fair day because obviously the family like the craft fair, while I indulge myself with these machines. But a steam barring engine. That's Hawthorne Davy. What have we got over here? A steam duplex pump. I mean, even the building, absolutely fabulous, isn't it? So this was still pumping water till 1963. The engines date from 1920, I believe. It was late 1920s, and the final one that's still here was built in 1931. As I say, Linshaw triple expansion engine. But we'll go in and have a look at those in a moment. This one's a steam turbine driving a high pressure water pump. Self-lubricating steam engine. Really is a fascinating place. Another duplex steam pump. What's this monster? High-speed diesel engine. Right, I can't actually go much further, I don't think. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, there's a little path here. Cut through the path. This is where the railway crosses the road. So that's something I've not seen before. That's a new boiler house there. They've actually got the Linshall machine steam engine running on steam rather than compressed air, which is great to see. A boiler here out in the yard. Now there is music playing, so if I get caught with copyright, I'm afraid I'm going to have to overdub some music on here. We'll see how we go. Well, loving the Airstream there. Put a couple of model Airstreams on my railway recently. Right, we've got a number of stationary engines. Let's go and have a look at these. Lovely to see these running. Yeah, loving the tractor model. Well, I covered most of the exhibits in here last year, so I don't propose to go into too much detail, but this was the Granada engine, cutaway. The overhead cam engine. This is one here, the V8. That's a bit of a monster, isn't it? It's a Ford V8, that one. An old petrol pump. And the Merlin. Oh, sorry, it's not a Merlin, it's a Griffin. Sorry, my mistake. In the centre, a couple of eco cars. So this one that you see here, the silver one, is the Ford UFO 2. It's designed to explore the maximum miles per gallon possible petrol cars in the 1980s. And there's another one just here. And this one here is the Belfairs Brat. So designed and built by pupils and teachers at Belfairs High School in Leigh-on-Sea in Essex. Lovely showman's engine here. I think 2-inch by the look of it. Named Dolly. And at the bottom down here, the Sentinel, Achievement Sentinel. Steam lorry. Wonderful model of a steam crane here, the Smith Rodley steam crane. Look at the gearing on it. What a beautiful model. Now a couple of traction engines down the bottom here. 3/4 inch and looks like a 1 inch there. And cabinet here with railways. I remember seeing the Virginia last year. And a couple of larger engines down the bottom. Loving the delivery bike here. Years ago I worked as a cycle mechanic and used to enjoy setting up these rod brakes. Years since I've done one of those. I also, back in the day, knew how to strip down the Sturmey Archer gears, but yeah, forgotten skill. Now, as I mentioned outside, this is the star of the museum, the Lillishall triple expansion engine. This was the last engine that Lillishall made. As I say, it was commissioned in 1933, I believe this was, and yeah, was taken out of service in 1960, I think 62, 63, something like that. There's 3 of these in here. So this one is named Marshall. The other 2 were Brassey and Francis. Sorry, I have to read that. They were all named after directors of Southend Water Company. Francis and Brassey were scrapped, as I say, in the 1960s, but this one was saved for prosperity. And yeah, it was in here, dormant, for many, many years, until a group of guys got together and decided to open a museum of power. The water company handed over the building, and the painstaking task of restoring the engine to, as you see it today, running condition took place. Wonderful to see it moving. This is probably my favourite view, looking down the engine. And you can see the condensate on the steel. As I say, before this was running on compressed air, but yeah, obviously with it running on steam, starting to see the condensate on there again. Lovely to see. So there's 3 engines in here, and you can see the depictions. If I just pan round to the ceiling, you see just here and here where the other 2 engines were placed. These were all side by side. Now these engines, 2 of these, will run continuously for 9 months while one of them was in service, fed by a mechanical boiler. Absolutely wonderful to see. So this runs, you know, for a few minutes every hour. It's just stopped now, but maybe come back and get some footage of it in a little bit. I'm just going to show you this down here. This is underneath the Lynchill engine. You can see down into the pumps, right down there in the basement. I did go down there many years ago, before the museum was here. One of the guys I knew was involved in setting up the museum and invited me over. Well, I hope I'm okay to show this. This is the only surviving picture of all 3 engines next to each other. How wonderful is this? Line shaft driven workshop. Saw, lathes. Over the back, the pillar drill. And at the top here, you can see all the different shaft drives. What a fascinating place. There's other bits of machinery in here. Forgive me because I'm not au fait with all of the names. But Napier turbocharger cut away here. This is a Paxman. It's a VK heavy oil engine. You can see it in motion here. I'll get some footage of the mechanism. This engine they've got running here is a Petterfielding. This engine worked at the Toronto Bank in London as a standby generator and kept the bank running during power cuts, including through the Second World War and power cuts in the 1970s. Engine itself was built in 1932. This is a Hornsby Ackroyd oil engine, built in 1903. I just love the beauty of how the spokes are, you know, curved on the flywheels. There's something elegant in the style. Now this is one of those places where if you can visit, the camera just doesn't do it justice. The noise, the smell, you know, none of that can be captured. Absolutely fascinating. Another Hornsby Ackroyd engine here, and this one here is a Ricardo single cylinder. So this one here is a Ricardo. This was actually made by Sir Harry Ricardo of the Ricardo company, and he developed principles of octane rating on this machine. A 2-cylinder positive displacement pump. And here we have some agricultural machinery. With it being the craft fair, somebody's kindly brought along all of their steam engines here. Now, if you haven't seen it already, I did go and visit the Mammoth factory earlier this year on its very first and very last open day. If you're not aware, Mammoth has closed its doors, and yeah, we were there on the very last day for a factory tour. You can find that on the channel. Very sad, but also very interesting. Look at this one at the end here. Good old Fred Dibner, and his living wagon behind. We've got some more of the Mammoth engines over the back here. And a few festive models. Always nice to see. Now, I did point this out last year, the railway. It doesn't look like it's moved forward much over there. Oh no, look, there is a loco running on there. I take it back. There it goes. So we do have a working layout in the museum now. Lovely detail on here, but struggling to get too close to it without leaning over these lovely Christmas models. Certainly a lovely model. Just wait for the loco to head back. Here it comes. Yeah, nice indeed. Another vintage bike here. I'm just going to pan down the workshop. I'll stand here all day watching this. So the museum's split into different sections, and you know, motive power and machinery, but also sort of household power. So there's a whole exhibition here with some really interesting bits and pieces. Got electronics here, lamps and light bulbs, the old telephones. And down the bottom here, look at the camcorder. Wow. Remember those, walking around with a massive camcorder and a tape machine with various heaters. medical instruments. Filly shave, look. Sewing machines, the hairdryer at the back there. All fascinating things of a bygone era. Heaters. You just wouldn't expect to find these in a museum, would you? But to see them here, they are definitely fascinating. Multimeters. And exhibit here on electric motors. You can see the Hornby logo in the middle there. And the old electric drill. Disc drive over the back there. Kitchen equipment. And again down the bottom here, more motors. And a range of vacuum cleaners. A few models in the cabinet here. Yeah, there are some random bits and pieces in here. Down the bottom here, this goes down underneath the flooring here, down underneath the Lillishall triple expansion engine, where the pumps are located for pumping the water. Irons. As I say, this is power at home. Or exhibit here on cameras. Power from nature. As steam power today, turbines replace traditional steam engines. You can see here the top of the casing has been lifted to show the steam turbines inside. Whole array of machinery here. Right, this is the Asteria Model Village. Lovely little thing. Loving the wagon yard here, push it and shoven. Yeah, wonderful. Somebody's gone to a lot of trouble with this. So this is now the exit to the visit to see Santa Claus. So you go around on the train, go in and see Santa, and then come out onto the model village here. What a great little museum, and I feel so lucky to have this on my doorstep. I do try and get over here a couple of times a year, and as I say, we do make a habit of coming to the craft fair just before Christmas. Wonderful to walk around the machines, and every time I come here it just goes from strength to strength. New exhibits, better labelled exhibits, and as I say, this new building, or new entrance should I say, to the museum has really changed things, giving it a nice little space and plenty of room for a shop in there. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video there. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a thumbs up, and why not check out the channel. Lots of things on there, and if you can subscribe, you'd be doing a really big favour. And as it starts to rain, I'm going to leave this one there and just say thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.